here we go. Whew. So much going on. I'm just going to get right into the notes of how much is going on right now, why you're feeling how you're feeling. Some of you, many of you. So, okay, so central nervous system restart. How to actually manually restart your central nervous system. So, Stephanie will be here in a minute, by the way. So, cold water on the back of the skull. Okay, so cold water back here. When that cold water pierces through the skull, it's actually going to slightly chill the back of the brain and the subconscious mind and those thought faculties. This is also the atlas bone. Why was the atlas bone name, that's actually the medical name, why was that medical name chosen? That name was chosen to have that name because it's atlas that holds up the world. So whether or not this is actually the world, the head, it is and it isn't. And it absolutely is in regards to the central nervous system and your etheric powers, your powers of emotion, and what you can actually do with emotion, which is like literally a full dissertation for another day. But what I'm getting at is this: 30 seconds minimum or 90 seconds. This is going to absolutely restart the central nervous system, because here's the brain, this is coming down, and here's all of these nerve endings. But as was told to Alexander, which I can now see this, 7737, what took place on 3-1 and those astrological alignments, and what was happening by 3-7, which I don't even want to share that story because I don't even want to get into my relatives, not to make anybody worry. 3-7 to 7-7, and this whole 7-7-7 thing that has been coming through. I've been telling you guys about this, and then to see the alignments that have taken place, planetary alignments, all of these bodies, everything that we're seeing here happen, like actually happen on the dates where I'm telling you guys this is going to happen. Okay. So I know with the 7-7, like there was a lot of what I talked about, but basically what the patrons got, and that's why this is the patron broadcast this week, what the patrons got to see, and maybe I wasn't mentioning all of this here, was I basically was tuning into Mary. I was on my way to the post office. I had to go to the post office. There's a post office right here I can throw a rock at. And I was like, why am I getting this feeling I have to go to the far away one? I go to the far away post office. I'm on my way back. Somebody like absolutely cuts me off and I get in a car accident. So normally the old me would be sitting there and being like, why was I told to go this way? And I was very calm about it. I really was. And I sat there and I was like, Mary, why am I here? And she said, look around. The person's license plate, never mind about the person's name and all those connections. The person's license plate literally said 7 weeks. And then the numbers that were after that were connected to the Metatronic key. I firmly believe that this Metatronic key is actually the diamond light, which is, once again, another dissertation for another day. I've told you guys about this shape before, how much of it I could talk about. I've been seeing this for almost a decade now. And all of a sudden, I can see it. All of a sudden, I can actually see it. I can't really explain it more than that. All of a sudden, I can actually see it, and it's literally to the point where, no joke, I have a trash can under the table right now in case if I'm going to actually throw up live. Okay, so don't think about it. So back to the atlas bone. So the atlas bone, this is something that has been being cracked, and this is what's actually holding up the world. So whether or not this whole know it by heart, whether or not memories are stored in the heart, the brain, or both, the fact of the matter is your etheric powers are connected to the brain and to the nerve endings within the body, which are now, according to God, according to Mary, these central nervous system endings are far outside the body now. So this is what some people might be feeling. The reason why there's been all this hubbub about the atlas bone is because how that download came through to basically maybe that original chiropractor. I don't really know the full story, but what's taking place and why people are like going to the right places and getting this bone cracked and why you've been hearing about this here and there during certain waves, is because when that is pressing, there are certain things that aren't working. Like there's literally been people that have gotten adjustments. There's people that have gotten adjustments that like couldn't hear and their hearing came back, and like things that are in the body, because it's like if something is pressing on one of the hoses, how does the water get through the hose, whatever the water is? So this process is even just to prove that with the etymology, this process is called subluxation, which literally translates to less light, because the lux, the luxor, and the sub, what's in the subconscious, what's below, what's low, what's in a state of not being in a what's high up. Okay, so with all the light that's coming through in these adjustments, people are getting bones cracking and all of this, the cold water is incredibly important. But like even today, like Mary was like, you got to go in the cold water, and I was like I'm gonna sound like a diva for a second, but I was like, oh my god, my hair looks great. I was like, I can't. She's like, I need you dunking under the water and holding the back of your head in the water. And I was like, I'm just gonna do it right after the live. And she's like, the live isn't what you think it is. You have to do what is coming through and what's been coming through for days. Because I've been on and off the phone with Stephanie. She's here. I've been on and off the phone with Stephanie. Are you ready? Yeah, thumbs up. You're ready. Okay.
Welcome. Hi, everybody. Hold on. Oh my gosh. I just realized.
Make sure you're not getting an echo. Somebody let me know in the chat, please. So back to this like 7 thing so I can finish that piece of the download with all the numbers. Okay, so 7 weeks, exactly 7 weeks from the accident was 1/7. On 1/7, that was when quite literally the Black Moon Madonna came through. I was basically finally able to see that there was a different version of the Virgin Mary, of her living vessel, and what came from who is that living vessel, and what is known as the Black Moon Madonna. So I'm sitting with this for all this time and literally just wondering what's going on, wondering why I'm seeing how I'm seeing, wondering why these mathematical literally anomalies are here in my chart. So I was basically shown last week why that happens, just to sum it all up. Because I'm on 8/22 on a Sunday, the highest degrees of Leo, it means I'm connected to the lowest degrees of the Virgin, Virgo. And because I'm connected to those lowest degrees, that is where this connection point is, where I'm pulling from what these idiots, plain and simple, what these idiots wanted to paint as the Dark Mother, the Devouring Mother, Lilith, Hecate, Nyx, whatever it is across time and space. There's nothing there's nothing dark going on here with the void of where creation sparks. This is literally the womb. That's what the womb is. It's a dark place where life is created. So being able to protect that, whatever that is, and to be able to pull this in. So 1/7, that happens. 6/7/7, this is literally when finally the video from the other day, which I don't want to go over all that information again. You got, if you're wondering what I'm talking about, all the video about all the connection to Uranus and what's been taking place through the ages. So now that Uranus on 7/7, after, like I said, already announcing this date, has now on that date entered Gemini. This has escaped this time frame of where basically our metaphysical energy, because of what's connected to our Anos and the distortion of time and time itself because of Chronos. I promise you, your higher selves, your other dimensional versions aren't getting lost. Please listen. Now that we've gotten out of this and into here, what is actually taking place is there's about to be a retrograde. That retrograde is literally starting on, let me check the time, is literally starting on September 6th. So now we have the whole 6 and 7 thing again, the shape of the musical note, like this, what is taking place with this 6 and 7. That retrograde just happens to end on November 6th. So what's going to take place then to just allow you guys to prepare yourselves? Because this is it's not that whatever you're supposed to be doing can be missed, but it can be delayed. And this is why the masters and the prophets were looking up at the sky for all this time. Are you ready, Stephanie? Do you need to be brought back on? Okay, I kicked her out for some reason. This is why they were looking up at the sky to see what could be going on down here. I am not saying that the planetary bodies are running what's taken place. Our goal as angelics, starseeds, celestials, whatever your labels you want to put on something that is unlabelable, there is ability to go above the planets. There's an ability for us to have subtle interactions with the planets instead of them having drastic implications on what's going on in your life. This is all related to the vibration. The vibration is related to what and who we've been letting jack into our system, and why the importance of the central nervous system reboots are so important. If you're feeling how you're feeling, if you couldn't sleep last night, if you overslept uncharacteristically last night, if you woke up literally feeling drunk, if you woke up feeling high, if you woke up having a hangover, this is why this happened today, for what we're going to get into right here. But I would love to just, Stephanie, can you drop in about the, like some of the information about the rose? Or
Well, I mean, I just want to say hi, everybody. Thanks for your patience.
Stephanie and Lodge.
I'm Stephanie Lodge. They call me the Hug Angel, so we're going to start with a big hug. Let's just hug it out. Let's just get some hugs on. I want to be really clear. What we're doing here today is really holding space, holding what I call a Christic kind of what came through before we went live, and Alexander and I spoke this morning, was the source shield. And we have to remember, when we are connected to that Christ light, that source, anything that's going on in this world, this planet, what have you, has no ability to affect us. It's just what we believe affects us will affect us. So this is the idea, right? Is that right now there's this whole influx of energy around this event coming in that I feel we have to really get clear who we are at this point, to know that we are the sovereign ones. We are the ones who are holding the state of sovereignty, no matter what is attempting to get the shiny objects and all the things, kind of scattering. So I'm going to say this: Archangel Michael is always within and integrated within both Alexander and I. And before we went live, I called him in to already create a massive halo field or diamond halo around this world. If you're not familiar with my work, if this is your first time hearing this, Halo is a holographic assembled light organization. And what it does is it harmonically aligns and light optimizes. So it brings in more light than anything else, right? And so when we have people here like yourselves who are all holding threads in that fabric or field, it brings in even greater amplification of that light. So that is what we're really here to do, in my opinion. And what I also know is that we are liberating ourselves from being bound to the moon energies. I've been hit by these moon energies this week like nobody's business. And they were fierce. And I was out for the count for like 3 days straight, sleeping, couldn't even wake up. Like every day I was like, oh my God, what am I doing? And I'm going to also say there were other personal things in my life, my father going to hospital, things like that. Like they were hitting on all burners. Okay. But what I know is we are fierce, a force of fierce love first that says, oh, is that what you got? Okay, well, we're good. Like whatever you got to do, we're here to welcome these elements into their remembrance. And so that is really what I received when Yeshua came through, and when Alexander and I spoke yesterday, I think it was, right, Alex, about this? Alexander?
Well, for the past 3 days. It was 2 days ago.
Yeah. Time is kind of not my thing anymore. So I try to keep track. But what I know is that when we kind of went to Yeshua to ask him, it's really, I don't know what you've already said, unfortunately, so I might be repeating some of the things, but what I know is whatever the intention is, and I do believe there could be pure intention here, it's bringing up all the old stuff, all the old tech, right? And that old tech is meaning biblical kind of inversions and things. So it's still going to access all of this stuff that goes back to when we were Cathars, Templars, you name it, whatever. Yep. And so what we're doing is, are we ready to let it go? Are we ready to let go all of that and really clear it off and step into the highest vibration of what we are now, that we are just those instruments of alchemy. And that is what I feel is happening, as we're holding this field as a very big field right now with all of you here. So I'm grateful. I want to extend gratitude on behalf of Yeshua and the High Councils for you stepping into this. I also want to say, Michael's saying, remember who you are, first and foremost, at the core of your being. Remember where you come from. You are starborn and you are of the highest light. Okay. So I'm going to say right now, there's already a halo field up. I already set it up before we even got in the container because I got the hit to do that. But the other thing I want to bring in, Alexander, is the gates are activated. So I went in and made sure I checked in on all Diamond Earth gates that have been already, all 12, to make sure those are all fully online and fully open for business. And what I mean by that is calling in divine intervention, calling in all the celestial beings and angels of light, all the diamond dragons as well. Michael asked me to call in the architects of creation to make sure that everything that's coming up will be just managed very gracefully and effectively for us. So we really are just here to exchange it in the field and be here and hold the space. So that is what I feel is going on. But I leave it back to you, but I just wanted to share that stream.
Yeah. So what's basically been, at lack of better words, blacklisted? Like what was most important for me to talk about today? Because how big this is, regardless of where it's coming from, I know, and thank you for bringing up the Knights Templar thing. There's a multitude. You can find many reasons why what is actually taking place might not feel good, but I promise you, from what I'm getting, this is the way. It's just about us being in a different way. So to start explaining, basically what's taking place in 14 minutes is a cardinal named Cardinal Spumoni is about to do a worldwide exorcism. So this is not just like the people. Like this isn't like, oh, this person agreed to this. Like there is an exorcism on a global scale that has never taken place about to happen in 13 minutes. And I know people thinking, oh, the Catholic Church, this and that. I can only imagine what people are thinking or feeling right now because of past lifetimes, because of what might have happened to you in France, because of what might have happened to you as a Knights Templar, being a being that has existed for many, 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 many lifetimes. I see that. But one thing I've been attempting to do the best I can to convey to everybody is nothing can be entirely bad or entirely good. Like we need to leave room for purity. And when I tune in on what's taking place, and when I won't speak for Stephanie, I'll let her share that piece before we basically just wanted to explain what's going on with everybody, because this is being felt and this is clearing every single person. This is clearing people's yards and the inside of their homes. Like this is literally everything these beings, which this Cardinal Spumoni guy, look at that, look how many viewers left, hilarious. Do your job, my family, okay? Do your job, that's all. Your job might just be sitting here right now, just throwing it out there. So anyways, this Cardinal Spumoni guy he just did a mass on JFK after JFK was unalived. And he instantly, because it was a communist country, they came in, they took him away and put him in jail for over 20 years as a priest. When he went to the Pope and told this story to the Pope completely burst into tears and was like, you're a cardinal. Like you just, boom, you're, that's it. Like I see you, I hear you, I see your eyes. That's it. It's a wrap. This person is basically spearheading this at 5 o'clock from Newark, New Jersey in 12 minutes, East Coast time. So wherever you are right now, if you're watching this live 12 minutes from now, and this is taking place. So I brought a shoe. I know, because this is going to seem insane. Yeah, he has a shoe. Of course, it's saffron for the saffron gun. Okay, so why did I bring a boot? Let me explain this for a second. What was the expression? What were so many of us said and felt? I'm Archangel Michael's boot on the ground, so to speak. But when this was coming through yesterday, and I was in a full-blown upload, download, don't even know what to call it, for hours, Mary was like, your job, depending on what you're saying your job is basically moving around the boot. And I was like, what do you mean? And when I looked at this, I was like, can you make sense out of this? So like, this is why I'm saying, like, If people are going to leave, they're going to leave because of what's going on. I'm trying to normalize this and just have it be observed. If it's triggering your cell structure to hear that this is going on, then please listen to that's what me and Stephanie are saying. I'm going to be honest with you. Like, once they open up this portal and this portal's open completely, you got free range to go clear whatever you want to clear. Old Alexander would have, like, bells would be ringing and I would be doing backflips to hear this. But what I'm being asked to do is to basically observe and watch them to make sure that they are safe, to make sure that they're getting proper intel coming through, to make sure that basically this rainbow bridge to whatever this conduit is through Mary to God, or however it is for you, that is being held space for. But it's basically like, honestly, it's almost like, here's your chance. Like, it's like Monopoly, and you landed on chance and you have a get out of jail free card. I'm not saying you can act from malice. I'm saying that, like, whatever your job is and wherever you see yourself on the boot, and let me explain that, the laces are holding everything together. These little binders right here, that's stabilizing, okay? This is the tongue, that's the speaker, that's who's speaking. Everything that's around here,
I'm just saying, and claiming the heel.
That's around here is what's just holding everything together, what's observing, so to speak. You got your steel toe, that's the Alexander you've known for years. This is the Alexander you've known for years. Kick, stomp, no. Stay away from my family, stay away from the kids. I've now moved from here to allow them to be the front of the boot, to allow them to be the bottom of the boot that grips to the ground. So I know that this might be a ridiculous thing of what I'm holding up, but there was no better way for me to faster make sense out of, we are all Archangel Michael. Which piece of him are you hoping can have the best conduit during these important times? During this now space, now time, what are you? Are you the laces? If you're like, I don't know what my gift is, beautiful. You're these beautiful hexagonal rings on the side of the boot. Like, just hold it together. Just hold space. If you don't know what you're doing, this doesn't mean you have to go necessarily do something. So in 8 minutes, just know the boot is coming. The boot is coming, and there's basically their halo or whatever they call their field, because this Spumoni guy's out there. He's the forefront. He's got bishops and priests that are exorcists all over the planet, basically helping him from afar. Like, there's an entire crew. And why haven't any of you heard about this? Why has nobody heard? Because the things you don't hear about are what this system, this old system that we're finding our way out of, doesn't want you to hear about. So to just reiterate this whole, like, crazy window of another 7-7 to another 7-7 through this 9-6 to 11-6, picture it like what are we doing right now, what we're doing till September 5th or September 6th. Whatever this is in your life, we're packing a snowball together as a team, as yourself. We got to get the snowball on the hill and turn this into an avalanche and learn how to surf on that avalanche when 9-6 comes, because you are seeing a window right now into the future. But it's going to seem like, I don't know what's going to happen during this window. These morons that have been not even properly running masculine energy for all these years, I'm not saying something bad's going to happen during that window. I'm saying that it won't happen if you ride the avalanche. Okay? Do you hear me?
Alexander, can I integrate? Yeah. Can I integrate and also interject? I wanted to share some of the words of Yeshua, in my notes. So one of the things that he said was, while they're attempting to cast out, you are here to call home or to repattern energy at its root through resonance, not rejection. What Cardinal Simone is initiating in the collective field creates a kind of a wave, and within that wave is instability. So many will be affected because some are going to be like uplifted on those waves and some could get disoriented. And this is where your presence becomes crucial. Now, Alexander's role is to serve as a stabilizer of the codes, of all the frequencies, and a harmonizer of ancient memory. That's part of Alexander's role and what he brings through, right? So what we're doing really is holding this plasma field of order during the days surrounding this whole thing. And that's what we've been doing. And now we're here, right? And we're not here to oppose it, but to transmute the dissonance that will ripple through the unseen realms when he steps in. And he has to be the one to step in, because a lot of what has been built by that church, both positive and negative, right? And so it has to be that type of an instrument to be the key to access into those fields. We're not being asked to step into those fields. We are holding space, right? So we're going to do this work that, because it's already been seeded in, right? It's already part of this. This is a divine appointment. And what my job is to kind of transmit the divine feminine frequency, the re-sanctification of the space, which I've already done by holding up the halo, right? And hold this vibrational sanctuary for those who may feel lost or overwhelmed by the religious kind of overtones of this act, right? Because there's going to be a lot of people who are never going to hear about this. They don't even know this is going on. And yet there's something on their quantum holographic level that definitely has their bells rung, right? So we're not speaking against it. I want to be clear. We are just simply embodying a higher octave of spiritual clearing, so that what's been shown before as this celestial coherence is what I've been shown, right, by Yeshua. So we're not battling demons or anything like that. We're just remembering them, all these distortions of everything, back into the light. We're like, here you go, here's the light, like, make yourself comfortable, let's go, right? It's time. The other thing that he said is that this Cardinal Simone, his intention is pure. His intention is good. It just means that there's elements in him that are still fleshing out his own shadow. And whenever you step into this idea of a shadow within the very act of seeking to destroy shadow, that's the shadow, right? This whole idea of destroying shadow is a shadow, right? So we just want to be clear. What Yeshua is saying is that he's being used, Cardinal Simone, gently or clearly, by an outdated frequency of control, not because he's like I said, bad or anything. It's just he's not yet remembered the higher octaves. So somebody has to do that. Somebody has to hold the higher octave of divine love. And nothing needs to be, like I said, pushed away or any of that. We don't participate that way. It's really meant as an act of spiritual cleansing only. But again, it might amplify some of that stuff. So we're just here to hold the conscious intention, while his intention might be a little unconscious because he's just not aware, if that makes sense. And I'm complete.
Yeah, I'm just putting the coordinates in for everybody.
There's been a lot, since the Diamond Phoenix Gate. I'll mention that really quick. On Monday, 7/7, we installed my group, the Diamond Phoenix Gate. I know some of you were participants. This was the final gate of 12 gates that went up to hold a huge field around the planet, Diamond Earth field. And we're going to be putting in stargates next. The next one will be Diamond Lyran Stargate. So as these gates keep coming in, what they're designed to do is hold a higher watch, if you will, like a higher current, like the high light, right? So we're like sleeping, doing our thing. There's these gates are constantly beaming and like being these like energizers of this plasma field of Diamond Earth, which is really sovereign Earth, which is really the new Earth, right? And so that just came in. And I don't know how many of you saw the crop circle that came in, the diamond spider crop circle in England, I believe. But it was really wild. It just came in like a signal from the teams like, yep, we got it. Gates are up. We're weaving the new Earth, right? And I want to be clear, spiders have a very sacred space in our lives, as well as, actually I had a spider in my room, Alexander, last night. I was like, oh my God, I couldn't get to it. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, if I could interject for a second on that. I just want to explain like why some things that might have seemed naughty to you before don't seem naughty now. And this is going to be probably slightly confusing to some, but I promise you your angels know what I'm talking about. I'm glad you're hearing it. If people are waiting to go to 5D, I'm absolutely positively sure that 2020 to 2024, we were completely fully assimilating above 60. Above. So we've already gone through 5. We're through 6. And what's actually taking place here? If your light is expanded, this is how this was shown to me. If your light expands and everything expands around you, it's going to look the same size the next day. But if you've actually popped up to a different, it doesn't matter what the number is. What I'm describing is this. Say the number is 7. if we've gone from a 3D to now 7 is now the physical, okay? We've got 1 minute till this is starting. Whatever you guys feel you should be doing, do, and we'll be talking about that in a moment while we do what we do. But think about it like this. If someone was in 3 with their rainbow light, okay, their chakras, however you look at it, and now they're, boom, they're standing up here, the whole grid is going to shift, okay? Something that used to be a higher is now all of a sudden going to be in the position of being a lower. That does not mean it's bad. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is, if things are shifting with an odd number, something that was in a place of being naughty might be having different light run through it in this present moment. And now something that was basically, if the angelic floor has moved somewhere else, there might be a visualization or some sort of download or some sort of information about the purity of whatever that archetype is, whatever that star is. We are the stars, literally here down in physicality, having a human experience. This is what is taking place within the archetypes as well. So if there's a different light or a different vibration or a different rung on the ladder that is now superimposed over other versions of the self, okay? I just wanted to do the best I could to make sense out of something that is manic to explain in the first place. And I know I'm getting like, at least 7 of you know exactly what I'm talking about out there right now. So just to make sense out of that, why something might have seemed bad in 2017 and now it's not bad here in 2025. Okay, so because it's after 2 o'clock now. If you don't know what to do, just do whatever. Dance, go,
Alexander,
paint, cry. Literally, the magical power of tears. I can do a whole dissertation about this. That is the lacrimosa. That is the power of the Virgin Mary. That's why statues are having physical tears run out of them with salt in them for years. Miracles that are taking place on this planet. Salt being connected to the Tesseract, the only crystal on this planet that is shaped like the cube, that is shaped like time. If something, even just tears running down your face, if tears are running down your face, just feel this magic. Feel this magic that you might not have heard about before. If you're having tears and they're connected to a trauma, get the tear and throw them away. Get the tears and throw them away. Because what's actually happening on a biological scale and metaphysical scale is the salt is running down the face, it's going back into the skin, and it's creating a loop. To break the loop, if the tears are not connected to joy, or they're connected to something that you want to help with clearing for yourself, for your family, for your DNA, for your past selves, boom, gone. Because the Tesseract is the shape of salt. And the Tesseract is connected to time, whatever dimension time is in. People have been programmed to think time doesn't exist because of the importance of being in presence, because of the importance of having all parts of me here now. That's my piece. There's a lot of ungrounded going on right now, and that's okay. That is absolutely okay. So if you don't know what to do, just do. Paint, dance, cry. You don't know what to cry about? Think about what happened on 7/7. All these precious children in Texas. Like, use your tears as the alchemist that you are, as the angelic alchemist that you are, to shift this planet, my family. Like, you can do that. You can send your tears to the Middle East, or you can send your tears to these Texan parents. Whatever you're doing is not wrong. That's your muse of the 9 muses.
There's a
whatever you got to do for the halos.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. I've been keeping them at bay as long as possible, but
please.
The energies want me to just do a sonic plasma field really quick.
Yeah, I just really wanted to explain that nobody could be doing the wrong thing right now.
Of course.
Just do whatever you're doing and know why you're doing it.
I get it. All right, so we're just going to take a nice deep cleansing breath, and whatever you're doing is perfect and special and unique and lovely. Thank you, Michael. Okay, so we're just going to bring in some of these frequencies to activate, I would say, just a space of what I would call this plasma light, right? This very high vibrational light. And this is going to serve as kind of a catch as catch can. Anything that's running around, it's going to just kind of serve as the space to go, hi, over here, right? And magnetic, right? And it comes through sonic sound streams, I call this, or angelic sound streams, because the seraph, which is what, where Alexander and I mostly connect through the seraph streams, is really what's building out the new systems. And so these old systems, what I see this as is a ceremony of, we relinquish the empire, the empire's crumbled, we give up. It's like, it's a little bit of like, thank you, we turn it over to the order of the monarch, which is the one arc, which is the one light, which is the one consciousness. So all of these divisions that have been, fractals that have been created, we are now going to be unifying through the sound current. If you have crystal bowls, if you have, Tibetan bowls, if you have a drum, I'm going to have a drum here in a little while, to just bring in sound with this, that's fine. I'm just going to go in and bring in what they're activating through me. Okay, here we go. Thank you. Always thank you. Adonai Thank you. Hopefully that came through. My mic can always be interesting, but what I know is they were just assembling all the gates. I was seeing all the gates going up and raising up this higher octave. And I'm just going to reiterate why I call New Earth Diamond Earth is it is multifaceted, multidimensional, and is only limited by the dimension you carry. So if you're accessing 11D, there's 11D access points on this planet, right? So just know you are building out your version right now. So what you bring into your mindset, your belief set, will determine what that looks like. You are what you believe, and you experience what you believe. So again, we get to let go of some of these old ancient belief systems so we can build out new from this moment forward. And that was what Diamond Phoenix was all about, was an initiation of letting go and resurrecting a whole new version. I would just say the purest version that you're intending to create right now for yourself, right? And what I mean by pure is just a higher standard of experience, of kindness, of love, of goodness, of happiness, of joy. Because I feel that many in this type of space of healers, call them, they're exhausted because they're giving so much and they're not filling the cup. And that I can vouch for that for myself sometimes. So just know that you were supported, and know that you were loved, and know that you were seen, and know that you were heard, and know that every single moment of your life, every breath that you take matters in this experience that we are co-creating. So thank you. Back to you, Bob.
I got my dagger. Big shout out to Jeannie. Just to like share these miracles about these like these windows of 6 months, and the existence of non-duality. I was having a day on 622. On 622, I went for my dagger. I started to think, wow, I haven't talked to Jeannie in a while. Numerous times lost all my phone numbers. So I went into my email. The last time we talked, the last time she had a call scheduled with me was 6/22/2023. It was exactly 3 years earlier to the day, almost to the minute, because I was calling in the afternoon and it was just minutes away from when the call was scheduled 3 years ago. That is 6-month windows. You might be able to, from home right now, also just, or later on, like write some notes and think back what has been happening during your early June, late June. And did it seem exactly like something was repeating itself from December? And did it seem like something was attempting to repeat itself from 4 years ago, 3 years ago, however long? Because this whole thing about us figuring out that we never were in a duality matrix. It's not even that we were in a duality matrix. It's that we thought we were in a duality matrix, so we were. Like, this is like that third strain is coming in now of whatever that version of you is. I was fortunate enough to be connected to this exact moment that I had to be born on, to be connected to something that couldn't be seen. My patrons know I've been saying for years, like, I'm going to find Nyx. I don't know where she is, what cave she's in, or how to find something that has no form. But I said, I'm going to find her. And it was basically here all along. It is the space that is this feminine vibration of the mother is what is connecting all things. Not that it's not the father doing that as well. There's a non-duality. As I've told you guys so many times, which is like advanced hermeticism. If I had this pen and I wrote temperature on it, it's going to be the hottest hot on one side, if we can ever scientifically figure out that temperature, and it's going to be 0 Kelvin on the opposite side of the polarity. The pole itself is proof, because this is not a law. This is not a theory. These are principalities to the reality matrix. They're principles. Principles are above laws. The theory of relativity only became the law of relativity when a mathematical formula kept getting with different variables to the same place mathematically. That is how theory becomes law. How does law become principle? Those were already put in place by the original creator of your soul. So looking at what this polarity is, whether it's a dragon or an angel or a color, they're all vibrations. They're all vibrations. And that's your vibration in accordance with all these numbers. So without like losing people, what my goal is to share with you is that these mathematical alignments are law. They're proof of the theory of the stuff that we've been talking about. There are proofs to the theories of the things that they called us conspiracy theorists for. All the things that they called you a conspiracy theorist for in this reality where we're having this conversation are facts. Find one. Find one. And if you do find one, it probably just hasn't happened yet. Okay? I know you guys see this. Like there's scientists seeing this. Biohackers are finding this. People that are not spiritual or metaphysical whatsoever are noticing that when they're testing the body, like people are using less aluminum now than ever. And there's a bunch of aluminum in most people's bodies. I don't want to say everybody, and it's already stopped. I told you guys it would stop again. Have you not noticed how clear the skies have been for months? Hopefully in your area of the world, hopefully in your reality matrix, but I know here in Sedona, Many people are not realizing it until I'm pointing it out to them. Hey guys, all of a sudden there's no contrails, okay? So for scientists to be finding these metals and all the stuff we've been talking about that were conspiracy theories, more and more every day, people that are not metaphysical or spiritual in any way are going to be proving everything you felt that was coming to be, okay? So what are your belief structures attached to here and now? There can't be any fear about this 9-6 to 11-6 window. There can't be. There can't be any fear about what's taking place right now in this transmission and in the actual transmission out of Newark, okay? So, roll the ball, create an avalanche, and surf the avalanche like the multidimensional piece of original creator having an experience here. What is that? What is your snowball? Okay? I know you know what it is. You don't want to wait to 11-7 to start doing it. You don't. You can. You're free to do that. But this feeling that's been in your chest, it's basically like the train has changed. The train and the locomotive engine used to, for Alexander, I would have to put wood in there and burn the wood and the chain would go relatively fast. And now I've switched to, I need steam. I need to boil water. And nobody gave me the memo until I found the memo myself. I found the cliff notes myself by communicating with the mother. This is what is taking place with a lot of people right now, is you're having to look back at what worked before, and maybe it's working a little bit different, or you're having to find out what works here to regulate the central nervous system, to self-regulate yourself, to self-regulate you. If your emotions are the superpower, for God to give you more, you have to be able to handle what's already on your plate. We can't just say, oh, my central nervous system is fried and I'm going to just go do this. It's time, family. It's time. It's time now, or it's time in November. It's time to go. It's time to do what you came here to do.
I wanted Alexander, if I can, to share just something I tried the other night, which was really interesting. I forgot to mention to you. To access source code, and I've shared this with you personally, you know this, but the eye press I've taught you, right, where you press your eyes with the palms of your hands. So I went in, I was in meditation Thursday night with some friends, and it was so interesting, is the amount of like kaleidoscope codex, like things coming in, right? Just violet and silver and like all these crazy colors, right? And it's really fascinating because I had called in my team, to deliver in like what is required right now for humanity and for myself. And it was like, as that light was pouring in, I went into the eye press and I could see all the stuff that they were giving me and supporting me with, right? So I just invite you guys, like, if you're ever in that space of stress or overwhelm, there's a lot going on in your world. You're surrounded by people who might not, vibrate at the same level, let's just say. It's really good to take a break and take even like 3 to 5 minutes where you just press the heels. You can do it right now if you want, and just press into your eyes hard enough that you start to kind of get responses from the eyes, and you'll see little dots, honeycomb structure perhaps, or other things. But the third eye, you might open up really wide and see all sorts of things coming in. There's a lot that can happen. And just remember, what it's doing is 2 things. One is it's data dumping all the stuff that's come in through black screen tech and resetting the vagus nerve and the nervous system in general, and clearing out what might be locked in the cellular structures that are communicating with that nervous system. So it's helping just to kind of liberate you, basically, from a lot of the spam, let's call it. And that way, as the light's coming in, you know that's coming in to replace and fill in the gaps of what you've just released, so there's no voids. So I just wanted to offer that. This might be a good time for some people to do that if they want to, because that's what we're doing. We're clearing out our old junk, our old span, and then we can bring in, the light that's sitting with us here now. So I wanted to offer that. You're so welcome. I'm just reading the comments. Alyssa says, wow, I just got 88 with light coming out of that number with the eye press. Awesome. And Amanda loves it too. She does it every day. Awesome.
Yeah, a lot of people have been getting threes, either seeing 333, the number 3. I mean, I got like on the same day, I got 4 or 5 messages from all over the planet, and one of them was actually a picture message of a 3 made out of rainbows, and not like light can bend. People used to worry about me getting in trouble for talking about stuff like this. Light can bend, and bent light has many applications, but light is a straight moving object, if you will. Bioluminal, I think Stephanie would call it. That's something that's moving straight, and it is hexagonal. So when we have something hexagonal moving through whatever realm of understanding that somebody's sitting in, okay, this has got these like 6 sides. That's why light appears that way in pictures. That hexagonal matrix is, I mean, obviously connected to the bees, the honeycomb, the Metatron's cube itself. Like, what actually is the base point of the 19 spheres, or looking at it as the 661, the 13 spheres, the 13, 1 plus 3 being the mother, being the queen, being the ascended feminine for this number 4, 2 by 2. So and that's all connected to the rose. That's all connected to the light. That's all connected to the light that is pouring in through so many of you right now in this time, which seems like it's from this yellow sun, but could quite possibly be from the blue sun. Okay, like I said, something's going to be coming through, or something already has come through, that might seem like the second part of the self, but it's actually the third part of the self. Because this third magic that has been blasphemized as being something dark or chaotic was very, very misunderstood for a reason. This was intentional, my friend. Okay. Anything that is solidified has at least 3 points of interest. That's why the triangle, this whole pyramid, pyro, middle, fire in the middle, that is why these shapes are called that. Nothing can have 2 sides. The fact that we've all been shown this 2-strand DNA, and people are sitting here still thinking they're in a 2-strand DNA body. 2 points of interest is 1 straight line. If I just add 1 more point of interest, I've just added 2 lines, not 1. Okay? This is how these light codes are actually constructed, and these geometric patterns are actually solidified into things like gemstones, into these platonic solids, whether or not that's the actual shape. Okay? Much of what has been coming through for so many is literally all you have to do is just be. All you have to do is just be and carry the light codes that you were born with. Okay? That's what's going to have people ask you a question. If those of us that are still saying like, oh, you got to do this, or trying to project this, or something has shifted in the past week, I'm sure you can see it, the way you're communicating with others, the way things are. It's not apathy, but you might not care. And that doesn't mean you don't care. You care so deeply, you can't care about whatever this minuscule thing is. That's normal. That was normal when you were a baby. This world and this society matrix that we are transmutating here is what normalized something that wasn't normal.
Alexander, it's interesting. So I just remembered, I was sitting over here off the side Wednesday when we did Diamond Halo together, my group, there was a key that came in, a Magdalene key. And what was interesting about the Magdalene key coming in was what you were talking about earlier about asking me about the blue rose, right? The idea of the blue rose. And that's very connected to Magdalene and really the entire lineage of Sophia. But there's been a lot of inversions, and a lot of attempts to distort the feminine. And that's something that's really important to remember. And what was interesting is they gave me this key to help integrate all 12 gates. And I want to show it here, if it's okay, because I think it could
please.
help.
I'm going to pop out for a second. I got to do some work.
Okay. So I'm going to show this. And what it is, let me just explain what a Magdalene key is, first of all. So I started pulling these in many years ago now as direct channeled light language, I guess you would call it, but it's not really light language because it's not a language. It's different than when you see other people write sigils and they have meaning, and it's not what this is. This is source code in the sense of frequencies alone that are designed to get us into the more fluid state of the heart and presence of who we are and let go of the mind of it. Because the mind is really a trap in many ways of like, let's stay up in the attic where all the creativity is and we're so brilliant and all this stuff and revere the kingdom, because that's usually where people are comfortable because most people have been traumatized in their life. And when you get traumatized, you go up into the attic in the mind, and that's where you feel safe. That's where the ego lives, and that's where it's going to help you like navigate and stay safe, right? But we're being asked now as the new human, the luminous human, to come into the heart, as you know, and therefore the whole entire spiritual complex of who we are. And the spine, what a lot of people don't know is the different levels of the spine, the vertebrae of the spine, and everything in between. All of that is getting hit the most because that's where the main nerves run through, and it's like a superhighway, right? So if you think about a chiropractor adjustment, like when your spine's off, it's like, okay, let's get you aligned to get that antenna really aligned so you can anchor the light, greater amounts of it, I should say, into the earth when you're walking around doing you. Even if you're just walking around, you're doing stuff because your light's coming through you, right? So these keys came in to kind of be somewhat of these harmonic alignments to that instrument, the entire instrument on a physical level, because the physical is really what's leading ascension. The body's going to be the final decider in that. Okay. We can think our way and be brilliant and spiritual and all the things, but if the body's like, not going, and that's it. So we have to really remember it's a holistic journey, right? So these keys are designed to make those micro adjustments or to help integrate some of these higher octaves that are coming in now, because we just put in a new octave, like I said, Diamond Earth octave, which was the first 12 gates of Diamond Earth. And these were major archetypal gates, including Diamond Dragon Gate, Diamond Angel Gate, Diamond Phoenix Gate, Diamond Unicorn Pegasus. I mean, there were many gates, okay? And the Diamond Lion Gate, which was on 8/8 of last year, was in Jerusalem because we knew that was going to start coming into its corrections. So these gates are there to harmonize, to serve as exit points for souls that are transitioning very quickly and they need a path out, and so there's a lot to these gates. I'm not going to get into all that. But these keys, the Magdalene keys, and there's different types of keys I work with, that, most of you, some of you. But this particular one, again, it's not meant to be understood up here. It's simply a transmission that's going to align the instrument and harmonize the instrument and get you aware of what is now in our surroundings and help you unlock yourself from the mental matrix and get more into your heart complex and really be in that space. So let's go and just show it. Okay. Did I get it all in? You can't see.
Perfect.
Okay. So again, It looks messy, I know, because it's all light and frequency coming through. So it's not going to be geometrically perfect and all this because this is channeled, right? So this is not what that is. This is about flow state. This is about, like, imagine water currents just coming through and capturing a moment of light. And it's like a transmission, a packet of light. For instance, like if I'm in streamer channeling, and I'm saying watermelon, watermelon, it's still going to have light behind that, right? There's still going to be frequencies of light behind that and medicine behind that. And you might see things in there, and that's fine. Your sub will probably decode and want to decode, and that's fine. But really what it is it's just designed to unlock you from the mental to some degree and get you into a more flow state with all of this, right? That's the whole point. Okay, I'm going to hold it up just a few more seconds. And when we transmit this also through this field called YouTube, we are making corrections in that. We're setting down essentially, we are unlocking that space to some degree, and we are imprinting into it a new standard. Because whenever I put up a halo, which this was coming through, is I only allow for the purest, highest frequencies and purest consciousness of living light, ultimate love, and immaculate grace to remain within our presence now and always. That is a standard. That is a soul standard that I put in. And if you don't meet those criteria, then it's like, not happening. So what we do with these keys, when I work with them, is really get ourselves reharmonized. That's really what they're about. And optimizing our pillar of light, if you will, optimizing that Magdalene bridge, the Magdalene tower, right? That pylon element that we are. So I just wanted to offer that as a gift today for everybody here and present and participating, because it felt integrative. So there you go. Hopefully that helps. Awesome, Veronica. Mm-hmm.
The time's now till September, basically till September 5th, or like this is our time to do whatever it is that you've been doing, but on a galaxy-wide scale. Like this is that time is right now. Like those of you that have been clearing graveyards or doing this, or going over here and doing that, clearing the earth, gridding.
Yeah.
It's time to clear everything that needs to be cleared so the proper fields can be set, so this stuff can't enter our fields anymore. It actually won't actually be physically possible. It would be like a ice cube trying to pass through the sun. We have time to co-create that which has already been done and already being done, but to co-create it within our own mental space, within our own nation of the Magi, that people think, oh, it's just my imagination, Alexander. So what if it is?
Yeshua said something to Alexander. I don't know if you remember what I said to you. I shared with you about the lions and the wolves and the sheep.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, please share.
It was really about what he said, and I put it up in the Angelhood, so I'm not going to say it verbatim, but what's interesting about it is it felt kind of like, really, because the caretaker in me and the healer in me was like, really? But he basically said the time of minding the flock is over, and trusting that the sheep are actually lions. Like, even though they might not appear to be aware, because you might see people in your life, you're like, oh my God, they're so clueless, right? But when you start to project into them that they are lions like yourself, right? They are holding that lion heart, that brave heart. Then he said something to the effect of like, around, not to disparage wolves. I love wolves, but I'm just saying, like, he was using it as a metaphor, but or analogy or whatever it is. But he just said something about the wolves, because they're circling, right? Circling kind of thing, right? But he said, remember who the sheep are, that they are truly lions. And wish the wolves luck, for they will need it. And when that came through, my whole body lit up like a Christmas tree or whatever it is, you know? And I was like, whoa, like he's serious. And it was very much, I've been watching The Chosen. I've been telling Alexander this. I've been watching The Chosen, getting very, very aligned to the energy of Yeshua through that and remembrance and all these things, right? And it's funny because I was at a restaurant the other night, and Matthew, who plays Matt, the actor who plays Matthew, walks in the restaurant like it's literally was bleeding over my reality. Okay. Because I'm that connected into these spirits that are holding this framework. Because Jonathan, who's playing Jesus, I mean, he's essentially given up his life to be this character, but then also the embodiment of that man as best as he can. Because now whenever he goes anywhere, people fall to their knees and like touch him and like think he's Jesus, you know, because of his character he plays. It's unbelievable. And he does hold a very intended, you know, high vibration. So I've been holding space for that mission that work is doing in the world, to open people up to get into the Christ light and heart beyond the Christianity, beyond the religion, right? Even though I know Jonathan's Catholic, it's like, it doesn't matter. There's the kindness and the goodness that needs to come into this world now that is serving to create, right? The real meaning of what it means to be Christ-like. And that's what I feel is happening more and more for many of us, is to kind of pick up that mantle as the Christ returned, if you will, to all of us, right? How are we being kind in the world? How are we serving? And not about how's it going to come back to us, but just because we want to help, right? Just because it's something that's the right thing to do. And I think that's really where we are at a choice point of, right? Is right now it's like, are you on the light side or the other side, right? And it just was interesting because Yeshua was very clear. Yeah, we're going to heal people. We're going to help people. But please see them not as the sheep anymore, because the judgment of them is sheep, right? Mm-hmm. Think about how many times people talk about like, oh, the sheeple, they don't know, you know, and they judge. You're dropping your frequency to align to something that is so not serving you when you jump into judgment of anything, because now you're in separation from them. Yeah. So see them as the lions. Maybe they're still, you know, wearing the sheep clothing, right? But it's still we want to really believe now that there's many coming online in this way. And that's the important part. And once everybody is in that light, that's what Yeshua meant by wish the wolves luck, meaning wish those that are predatory and trying to take the light. It's like the sheep comes off. It's like, hi, I'm a lion. Nice to meet you. Right. Yeah. That's the idea that he was giving me. And it was so powerful, that vision of just surprise, more lions here than you thought, you know? So just wanting to bring that kind of energy in here for a moment. They wanted me to share that. So thank you.
Yeah. If you went back to 2010 and asked me, not even asked me, just told me, if Stephanie somehow was back in 2010 and told me that 50 Cent and Mike Tyson were going to wake up before my family members, I would have probably laughed hysterically. But like, look at what's actually taking place on the planet right now. Like, look at like people that their essence has just been completely misunderstood.
Yeah.
And part of that is through this whole act of where we, because this is everybody, that nobody here can say that they've constantly always been in self-regulation. Like this whole like self-regulation thing, and like, you know, this like what Stephanie just brought up, which was beautiful, about the people being sheep or the people being zombies. Like, we already know they're not anymore. Like, they're either on the right side or they're on the wrong side. And the people that are on the wrong side, like she said, it's interesting. And like, yeah, that's connected to so many things. Like even this whole like, I mean, even this whole thing about Karens, like, just like, even that, like, we got to like take that back. Like the name, like, why was the name Karen even chosen for this? Karen, like literally the translation of Karen is caring. It is the act of caring. So like, yeah, maybe these Karens didn't self-regulate because they're pissed off. Like the mother is pissed, and she should be. She should be, from what she's seen take place and what is still happening or trying to happen here. So like even that, like even these derogatory terms, like that can't be making everybody that has the name Karen have a better day. Like that projection is constantly over the spell that they came into this reality with. That's not unconditional love. So yeah, no more zombies, no more sheep, no more Karens. Like, you know, even if they couldn't keep their cool, like whatever it was, or were too passive, or maybe could have been more grounded. Me grounding my essence here was one of the most difficult things that I've ever done, if not the, because I didn't want to have all of my faculties here, because it was finding out in 2013 that I'd been carrying somebody else's pain for years. It wasn't even mine to carry. It wasn't even mine to carry. So like when I saw that and I was just like, how did this happen? And I asked the questions, I was automatically just like, it was like I was like out of my body. I mean, Stephanie, how many times did you tell me like, hey, like you might want to like get your feet in your feet? Like I can't count the people that they're just like, I was just like, no, we're not going to touch that right now. We're not doing that right now. But the importance that that Mary told me, like, we need you here now. And if it still feels safe for some of you out there to be ungrounded, just what if you just pull one aspect of that version, just one? Because I can promise you, there's multiple versions out there. The etheric is out there. If there's no grounded, the etheric is out there. The astral is out there. The causal is out there. The mental is out there. The aspect that's connected to the X and Y axis of time is out there. I wish I didn't have the middle finger be the mental, because I would have to throw the bird at the camera.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay.
What if you just worked your way towards having just the mental out there? That's the imagination that they wanted to keep you away from. That's the nation of the Magi. It's not your imagination. It's not some powerless thing. You could have your mental out there and still be just more grounded, but just as safe. Because why is that taking place? Why was I doing that? Why are some of you doing that now? Because it wasn't safe. And it still might not seem like it is. It still might not be. But just attempting to pull some of the aspects back, at least pulling time back. Maybe leave the astral and the mental out there. At least pulling your causal self, which is the version that is able to actually use the engine that God gave you the keys to. Like those are the keys. Oof.
I call forth the angelic light streams of all creation, the celestial councils of living light, the sovereign light councils of the Elohim, cherubim, seraphim, and ophanim, the diamond light nations of ascension, including the diamond lions, the diamond phoenix, the diamond dragons. All the diamond dolphins want to come in. Okay, thank you. The waters are important. Diamond whales, thank you. So many. Diamond wolves, yes, okay. I forgive me, yes, thank you. They're like, we're okay. Beautiful. And the Order of the Monarch, which for those of you who don't know, is really our Christed natures reflected back to us, different aspects of self. And the Magdalene Order or Council, thank you. Yeshua, thank you, Brother Yeshua, for being here. Thank you. Thank you, Magdalene. Thank you, Sister Magdalene. Thank you. Thank you, Mother Mary. Thank you. Father Joseph, thank you. Grandmother Anna, thank you. And all of the Essene Brotherhood and Sisterhood of Light, the 144 signature frequencies, thank you. And of course, the Archangelic Chamber holders welcoming Yahuel. Archangel Yahuel is the hidden name of Metatron. So for those of you who work with Metatron, I invite you to go deeper And with Yahuel, there's
Raziel was coming through yesterday too, Stephanie.
Yeah, Archangel Raziel's here too. He comes in next. Metatron for me is very much the platinum titanium weaver. It weaves the formats, right? But Yahuel is the angelic name that many don't know, because Metatron was the overlighting principle that they placed over that name to keep it hidden. So Yahuel is a key to access, a Christ key, I call it, to access more of these energetics of source directly. Metatron is kind of like the training wheels. I liken it to the go-between, and it was put on or placed on by I believe the Greeks, to overlay that true name, to hide it. So just know that that's the thing about these times we're in of revelation, is that things are becoming more mainstream. Some already knew this, of course, those who hold mysteries, but again, you have to dig deeper to get there. So with Yahuel, I want you to feel that coming into your heart and kind of reassembling and correcting the spin state of your energy center. I call your diamond heart, because it's like a topsy-turvy kind of turbo element now, right? It's not, let's go linear and let's spin it this way or counterclock. No, that's again, mental. You're just trusting it knows what it's doing. You're trusting it has its spin down, and you're just asking it to correct spin state in case if there's a wobble, in case you put it off to the side because you didn't want to get hurt and you want to get it online. So we're going to bring that online. And Raziel coming in now is going to bring in the rose gold frequency, and this is going to braid with the platinum titanium. So those three currents come together as a trinity. And as these come in, the rose gold is really aligned again to the rose lineage, but it's also aligned to greater angelic immunity. So your immune system throughout the body, including your nervous system, is going to come in a greater coherence, what I call celestial coherence. So as these are braiding together, I'm grateful for this alignment. And we're calling in Archangel Michael, Michael, please allow us to know your name. The sapphire light coming in right now, again, safety, security, strength of sovereignty, right? And so as this blue is coming in, I want you to imagine just washing through you and kind of filling up your entire sphere, what I call your halo, right? This is your network. This is you plus, right? Your multidimensional aspects. And it's, again, just simple shortcut key, halo activate, boom, there they are. They're there. Like, yes, how can I help you? Like Alexa or Siri, right? So as we're bringing Michael in to fill this, we are reminding every aspect of who you are, wherever you exist in the multiverse, whatever starseed, light seed, or any lineage of who you are, they are safe, they are secure, they are held, they are holy in every way. So as this blue light is coming in, we are going to expand it and see it going around the planet. So right now I'm just bringing that consciousness of that halo around the entire planet as we continue to call in the Archangelic chamber holders. And as the next one calls in as Raphael, thank you, Raphael. So Archangel Raphael, please allow us to know your name. And as this green emerald light stream comes in, it's going to come in up from the heart, up into the higher aspects. And it's also going to flow down into lower elements of your body, and it's just going to move through the entire element of your physical unit, your instrument. As this emerald light is moving through, it's flowing through, it is going to go into the DNA, and it's going to go in and find out where's the scarcity being held, where are you still feeling you're not enough, where are you still feeling your body is not fully aligned and healthy, where is it, gone a little bit skew. This emerald light comes in, and it's going to just serve to heal, harmonize, and bless every element of who you are. You are loved, you are loved, you are loved, right? And all the abundance, all the vitality is already yours. So it's just correcting any of the programs, beliefs, and so forth put on you by others or yourself, and clearing them out, okay? Calling in Archangel Gabriel, please allow us to know your name. This golden, divine, alchemical, crystal light fire is coming in now, reminding you of your connection to the soul element of who you are, connecting you to the ultimate creator of your soul, what Alexander likes to call the original creator of your soul. And so as that's coming in, this golden light, I want you to feel that energy just purifying anything you've been harmonizing today with us. It's clearing it, cleansing, purifying it, so you are not carrying anything. Okay, Samsonite collections, gone. Okay, and this is going to increase your conductivity and your ability to be a conduit of the living light. The light's hot up the press light. It's not about going to the Akash or the records. We're going straight to source, right? This is plug hot fire wire in, hot current. Okay, so just be aware. If you're feeling that energy come through, if you need to walk it off, dance it off, move it off, That's normal. Okay. Next is diamond light. Okay. Archangel Uriel, please allow us to know your name. As Uriel comes in with a diamond light, divine alchemical light. This is also an alchemy because what it's doing is it's bringing all light in, all spectrum, wherever you've been deficient in your tonal, in your sound or light stream elements. This is going to come in and correct. It's going to supplement you, resource you, rejuvenate you, going all the way down to the diamond DNA fields. These are the multidimensional versions. Everything that is incongruent is going to come into coherence and congruence. So that's what the diamond light comes in. So as this diamond light comes in, rainbow, sparkling, all the pretty, feel that bless you, feel that come through and expand into your halo. Now your halo is going to kind of bring in that diamond light at the edges. This is really important to remember with this. This is a massive shield. This is a source shield because what this does is it creates a mirror reflection of anything that does not belong to you. It's going to send back to sender automatically, kind of like a hall of mirrors, okay, in the outskirts of your field. So when you walk out into the source energy, any part of you that goes out, you always are going to be secure in who you are, what your energy is versus everything else. Okay. So we're activating that. Anything else with that? Oh, the diamond phoenix flame. Okay. So just visualizing a beautiful rainbow diamond phoenix flame coming in your heart right now. Beautiful heart, sanctifying your heart. And again, just harmonizing. That's all it's doing. Harmonizing. And you might feel a little bit of wing activation out the back. The fire might flow out the back wing blades. If that happens, just let those flow. Okay, good. Finally, final step. Archangel Zadkiel coming in with Lady Amethyst. This is the Amethyst light stream. This is where everything gets dumped. It's already been activated. I'm just bringing it into the awareness of everybody in the field. Zadkiel is the violet. Amethyst, Lady Amethyst would be the ultraviolet. They work in tandem. This is where we get this concept of twin flames, okay? So the ultraviolet is revealing all the residual, and the violet's going to release it. And it's going to just data dump it into the stream, carry it away from you, back to source. You don't have to carry it locally. It's taking it away. So you can just visualize all the detoxing you want to do. Just right now, energetically, bye-bye. It's just coming up, goodbye. And now we're just going to know that we are totally in this beautiful source shield, because that was kind of the purpose of this. They're telling me like, do you want to put the source shield up? Oh yeah, right. So we're putting this source shield up. So what we're doing is essentially holding this space for the planet, holding it for all those who are unaware of this technology and this consciousness. And that's okay. You know, we are enough to do that. So we're just giving the planet a little bit more today. And I'm just grateful for the opportunity to serve this way with all of you. Thank you for your participation. Thank you, Alexander, for inviting me into the space to do this. And I am complete, but you might have more to add. But in this moment,
I just had one little piece about the subluxation I was talking about earlier, which is basically this like science, this metaphysical science, if you will, of hoses being pinched in the body. Many out there are thinking there's a certain percentage of people that are out there currently right now that they absolutely positively can take their body back. And when they take the body back, the mind and the spirit will come with the body. Okay? This is why people like mechanics work. Like, could I go on the internet and figure out how to change my oil? Yeah, I could. Do I want to do that? No. So if somebody's needing a mechanic, that might be a chiropractor or some sort of session or something along the lines of that these things can absolutely and positively be done on your own, but sometimes it's greater to have an extra set of hands. So with this, like, you know, certain things that are causing less light in the body and what's having this light come back online, this is why it's been so important for you to finish your process before reaching out the hand to others right now. Now, if somebody reaches a hand out or up to you, of course, you should be helping those people. But for any sort of projections or anything like this that's going on, what can happen is now the field has been opened up. When the field gets opened up, certain access to your hips, access to your shoulders, this is going to make a muscle feel like it's tight when it's not tight. It's not tight. It might be leaking a little bit of energy. when you are in a state where that is no longer taking place, it's not like double of where and what you're feeling right now. It's not really measurable when we're in these states. And I know there's a percentage of people that think it might be too late or it's not possible to take back their body. I promise you, you can. I promise you, every single one of you can at least take some more back and see that having more is going to be more light, and having more light, it's going to make everything much, much more graceful and much, much more easy, so to speak. So what's actually been taking place for thousands of years is the goddess was told she can't dance. Like I said earlier, some of you, if you don't know what to do and you feel like you want to just dance it off, dance. That's the first brain. That's the sacred brain. That's why this is called the sacral. This is called the atlas for a reason. This is called the sacral for a reason. Okay? So just moving that energy, moving your hips, remembering how to move your hips, and knowing there's nothing weird about this. There's literally superpowers connected to being able to fluidly move your body, and parameters and things were put in place, and fears were put in place for thousands of years, over sexualizing and people actually not being allowed in many areas of the world, actually they would get in trouble if they were caught dancing. It might not even be about the dance, but being able to move that sacred center and that sacred brain is going to shift up here as well. So something that you're only feeling comfortable to do when you're by yourself in the bathroom or nobody's home, it's been something that's been inverted. Okay? And I just wanted to just touch base on this comment here because this is the absolute truth. Godheart Guardian said, another spell-raft inversion of our time calculation, September 7th, not 9. Because sept, what he's talking about is sept being the 9, sept being the 9, and then we have like literally this whole oct being the 8, nov being the 9, and 12 being the 10, dece, ember. Like having that pattern of those numbers there is proof that manipulation has been done across time and space. Why would it go 7, 8, 9, 10, and then before that have July, August? It literally says Julius Augustus. Like literally you could see Caesar's imprint on the calendar. Like those months weren't called July and August. Like these things are everywhere around you where the manipulation was done. And you've been able to feel these things in your cell structure, your entire body. Some of these things in this reality they're no longer allowed to be done in fear. We can't go back into the old box. We don't fit in the old box. So be who you came here to be in whatever percentage or faculty that is. But we can absolutely, in this present moment, be more than we were yesterday and drastically more than who you were last year. Thank you for watching.
Thank you, Alexander.
Thank you, Stephanie. That was beautiful. Thank you for what you did and for creating Halo and holding space. And some of you might be governed to keep going. Some of you might be governed to start. You're free. And I love you.
Love you. Love you, brother.
Okay, I'm going to end stream now. I'll see you all very soon.
Bye, everyone.